Sorry.
No, you're all right. Hello, everybody. So, um, sorry, Gabriel just did a massive sneeze through the transition, and it didn't come across on the stream, but it was just perfectly
All
timed.
right.
Um,
It's to warm up.
yeah, yeah. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Moon Colony live stream. It's good to see you all. I hope you're having a wonderful, what day is it? Thursday. Hope you're having a great Thursday. So, as you can see, we've got Gabriel back here with us today to carry on with his lovely X-Men crossover. So it was X-Men and Prince of Persia. That's what it was, wasn't it? I forgot it yesterday. I was like, what was it? X-Men and something. But yeah. So X-Men Prince of Persia. If you haven't seen the last stream where we got started on this, then you can find it up on our YouTube channel. So you can go and find it there. I'll post a link in the chat to that for you, unless you are watching this on the YouTube channel, at which point you're already here. So
Oh, you're live on YouTube too?
Yeah, YouTube and Twitch.
Nice.
Yeah. So thank you so much. But yeah, I'll Gabriel can get started. I don't know if you want to go over kind of what you did last time, go through the layers and stuff if you still got them. But
Okay. All right. I actually the last update was just a second. Was that? So where is it? It was here, and I thought it was pretty dull. I don't know.
yeah.
So I think I needed to. Oh, what I'm doing? I need to prep. I prepared more the file and try to create a more interesting composition.
Yeah.
I'm going to sneeze again. Sorry.
No worries. Bless you.
Okay. Thank you. And that's it. I try to reach a more graphical composition. Even that's a simple illustration with not that much to be said. But that's it. I love that comic book aesthetic.
Yeah.
And I always try to bring it more to my personal work, like halftones, visible line work, so more dynamic shapes and stuff. So I've been trying to practice more on my free time. So that's it. That's where I am right now. And...
Awesome. As always, if anyone has any questions while we're going along, then feel free to throw them in the chat, and I'll see if I can get us to answer them for you. But yeah, I really love the new background on this. I feel like it fits really well.
Thank you, man. So, how was your week?
How was my week? My week has been a roller coaster ride.
Why?
I mean, without getting too much into it, our family lost our family pet early this week. So yeah, that was pretty tough. But
well, that's sad.
Yeah, but I'm doing all right. I've hung out with some friends, and we're getting through it. But yeah, it helps doing these streams. Like the one I did yesterday with Antoine was nice. It kind of helps take your mind off it. You get to chill out and have a bit of fun for a while. But yeah, and it's election day in the UK as well, so I had to go out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, go out and vote for the election over my lunch. So that was fun.
But for the prime minister?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Can we enter in politics here?
I think it's best to kind of steer away from it, but
Okay, okay, all
but
right,
it'll be an interesting election. I'll leave it at that. It'll be interesting to see what
all
happens.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm afraid of the ways the world is going
yeah, yeah,
recently.
yeah. I think a lot of us are, but well, all we can do is try our best to fix it, but we'll see.
Yeah, um, my only hope is to find a cabin in the woods and move to there.
Yeah. Oh, I have to show this book. Hold on. Um, so the a couple of really lovely people from Lightbox. Actually, I met them when we were at Concept 101 last year, and they actually gave me this book, which is called Your Cabin in the Woods. Um,
Yeah.
and the whole thing is like, it's like how to build your own cabin in the woods with like blueprints and stuff and like photos and everything. It's pretty cool, but I just think it's such a great gift because I'm constantly just saying the same as you. I'm like, I'm just gonna find a cabin in the woods somewhere and go and live there and not worry about anything.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
Yeah. So yeah, it's funny. I'll say hello to some people in the chat. Sinistrale's here. Hello. Hi Jaheen. Hi Melissa. Lemon Emlyn. Hello. Gwendaru. Got artist. Stefano says I'm sneezing like crazy too. Brazil is upside down. Is it like hay fever? Do you think?
I know, no. Hay fever, you mean? What do you mean by hay fever? I
It's
don't know
like
what's
it's like allergies, like allergies to like
to Poland.
pollen. Yeah, it's like pollen allergy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, actually, we're in cold. Um, we're in the winter, and
Oh, of
it's
course.
getting colder than usual,
Mm,
and we're weak for that, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot that the seasons are reversed.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Phil Tomato, nice to see you. Sunny Buns, what a great name. Ah, thank you so much for the raid, Ajkan. Thank you so much. I hope you had a great stream. We've just started, so welcome, and all 32 of your viewers. Thank you so much. Just to give you a brief rundown, I'm sure you can tell from the title, but we're doing a little genre swap of our favorite X-Men character, which is Nightcrawler. So
Yeah, I don't know if it's my favorite.
he's my
It's your
favorite.
favorite.
Yeah,
Or
it's my favorite.
don't
So-
put words in my mouth.
Oh yeah, who did you say your favorite was? I forget now.
I honestly don't know. Maybe I like Wolverine, but I like the
Yeah.
Beast. I love the. I think on every show or book or whatever, I love the wise dude. You know,
Yeah,
the old wise,
yeah,
like Master Yoda. I love Master Yoda.
yeah. It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
Yeah.
Hey, looks amazing already. Ah, thank you so much. I don't know why I'm thanking you. I didn't draw it, but you know. But yeah, how did your stream go? I hope it went well. Leo says, "Hey everyone, all the colors look gorgeous." Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi Cameo Wendy, nice to see you too. Welcome. Ignacio says you promised to draw Dolinho today, right? No.
The
No,
what?
no.
Dolly.
Dolinho, yeah. The cursed like water bottle, drinks bottle thing. I don't even know what it is.
Uh,
It was good. I painted a bit of a full body fan art of Jinx from League. Oh, awesome. You know what? I'll do a shout out for you. I can't believe I forgot. I'm terrible at this. But yeah, everyone go and give Achka a follow. Do some lovely work on their streams. Pizza and digital art, best afternoon for real. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. Sunny Bun says, I have a question regarding character art, if that's okay. You.
sure.
Yeah, go ahead. Fire away. Yeah, that goes for anybody. If you've just joined us, then I'll just tell you who Moon Colony are, if you don't know already. We're a premium concept art and illustration studio, predominantly working in the games industry. We also dabble in some fantastic animation as well. So we've had clients like Clash of Clans for Clash Royale, Blizzard is a big one. We've done a little bit with Bethesda as well in the past, so all very exciting stuff. And Gabriel here is one of our lead artists, and as you can tell by their amazing work, a very well valued member of the team. I actually started playing the new Prince of Persia game.
The Rogue?
Yeah, is that what it's called? The
There's the Lost Crown, the Metroidvania one.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I started playing that one.
Yeah, no, that. Did you start it?
Yeah.
So nice, right?
Yeah,
But
it's
didn't you
good.
like
It's
it?
it's quite difficult. Like it's taken me a while
Yeah.
to get used to the controls, but it's cool. Yeah. But didn't
Yeah,
they?
it's difficult. I'm stuck in on a part. Some
Oh,
areas.
you're stuck on a part. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was surprised when when another Prince of Persia game got released a few weeks ago, because I was like, damn, they're pumping these out real quick.
Yeah, the recently released the Rogue one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to play that one too. But I want to finish the Lost Crown before.
Yeah. Leo says that game looks very nice. Which one? The Lost Crown or the Rogue? Because I think they both look great. They just have very different, like the styles are totally different.
Yeah, but I think both looks nice.
Yeah, for sure.
It's different approaches.
Yeah. I'm just curious as to why Ubisoft is suddenly like throwing out the Prince of Persia license to a bunch of people. It seems like a little resurgence.
Yeah, I hope it keeps that way. I love Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
I mentioned that on the last stream. I think I completed the Sands of Time 3 or 4 times.
I haven't finished the Sands of Time, but I think is that the one that they're doing a remake of?
Yeah. And the first teaser was horrible, and I think they restarted.
Oh no!
Yeah, the graphics was terrible.
Oh yeah, I've just seen it. Oh yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of yeah.
It was looking super outdated.
Yeah, for a 2020 release, like announcement, that's pretty poor. The one you played, I didn't even know a new one came out. Yeah, the Lost Crown looks incredible. Sunny Buns, I'll get to your question in a second. But Leo said, is there even a demand for all this Prince of Persia? Are people craving the prince? Are people claiming for more Persia? Yes. Gabriel is. Gabriel is the
Yeah, yeah.
Gabriel is the one person who is fronting this Prince of Persia.
Or they realize that maybe Assassin's Creed is dying. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Assassin's Creed started as a Prince of Persia game.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah. So Sunny Buns' question, it's quite a long one, so let me know, if you need me to repeat anything, or feel free to read it in the chat if you want. But they said, so I found an issue with keeping the same tempo with my workflow, and the reason is because I feel bored of the pose/design, etc. in certain places. I've tried to come up with interesting poses, but I always feel like certain spots are way more enjoyable to paint, while others are a drag. Is it a thing where I just have to push through, or does the motivation come with creating better designs and compositions?
That's a tricky question.
Mm.
Let me think.
Yeah, sure.
I think if you want to build a portfolio of as a digital artist, you need to have finished stuff on your portfolio.
Yeah.
And if it's your own personal hobby or whatever, you can do whatever you want.
Mm.
But if you want to build pieces for your portfolio, you need to have stuff that can be sold.
Sold,
Like
yeah.
you need to create something that can be a product.
Mm.
And a half rendered or a super nice kneecap rendered, I think it's not enough to show what he wanted to do as a professional.
Mm.
So I think that's the first thing. And the second thing, I think you need to evaluate if you're not getting bored of painting some areas, because you're don't know how to do it, or you're insecure about painting something. Like sometimes when I'm painting something, and I know that some areas it's going to give me a headache, I keep walking around,
Yeah.
like I will paint everything around the part I don't want to do it, and then I keep it to the end, and then I suffer. But but my suggestion on those cases is to pick the areas you don't like to paint. You start with that,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go to the areas you don't like,
Yeah.
because probably you need more energy to paint the stuff you don't like, you don't know, and you need to research how to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
Yeah. They said, I think I'm able to finish the paintings, but I think it's just the process being tougher than it needs to be. I think what you said there was really interesting. Starting with something that you think that you're going to struggle the most with. I wonder if, I don't know if this will work, but when in the past I've come across challenges that I didn't want to do, like if I was when I was at university, if I was doing a project and I really liked doing certain aspects and I hated doing other aspects, I would always start off with something I liked and finish with something I liked. So you get like a little win at the beginning of being like of getting that motivation. So you're like, okay, I've done I've done something I've enjoyed. Now I'll go and do something I absolutely hate doing, and then I'll finish off with something that I've enjoyed again. But it
Yeah, and another thing. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say it kind of depends. It depends on what works for you. Like I know other people do exactly what Gabriel said, where you start off with something that you're not looking forward to doing, or you find really difficult. But it's very personal, but it's worth giving a try. But yeah, you carry on whatever you were going to say.
Yeah, and also sometimes I get not bored,
Hmm.
but I have difficult to believe that some projects I'm developing, personal ones, are worth to keep working on it.
Mm-hmm.
So because I work with professionally as an artist, and when I'm doing on my free time, I have less time to do it than I have on my professional work. So sometimes I don't know if I need to expend a lot of time on a big project because I won't have time to finish it. So sometimes if you try to do something smaller, something quicker, it will be good. Or you were mentioning about gestures and uh, poses and stuff. Sometimes you need to practice it more, so then you can have more interesting drawings for you to paint and to keep you moving. So sometimes you need to focus on one aspect instead of going to the whole process again and again and again. So if you're every drawing you make, you're going to finish it, you're going to render. Uh, it's a lot of work. Like you do a bad drawing and you need to render it
Yeah.
until the end. So try to make it more drawings instead,
Yeah.
and complete on the drawing phase.
Mm.
And when you pick just your favorite ones to finish.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So yeah, do a lot of drawings and sketches and pick one from that to carry forwards, whatever one you find more fun. Leo says, yeah, there are processes that you leave more things for chance or are more straightforward, and it's important to find a balance. Yeah. Sunnybun says, yeah, I always love sketching and rendering, but in between there's a lot of ups and downs. Yeah. It's tough. I feel like with any project there's going to be bits that you don't like doing, especially if you're doing art. If you're doing art professionally, I'm sure a lot of our artists will say that, you've just got to push through. Sometimes you've just got to push through things you don't like doing. And if you can try and make them fun, then great. But other times you just got to take the hit.
Yeah, and I always think that we can use our what's the comfortable zone to improve also.
Yeah.
I think you can always find a subject, stuff you really like to draw, and repeat in different ways. Like, for example, if I like to paint buffy dudes or superheroes, like if you go to, if you start drawing every X-Men, you're already training a lot of different types of characters and stuff. So you have Professor X that is on a chair, wheelchair. You have Beast that is a furry dude. You have the girls and whatever.
Yeah.
So I think you can take a look on your comfort zone and start to think how can you expand that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. I think that's some good advice. Find your comfort zone and then try and expand from it. Sinistrel says, a few times ago I found out that saying a mental shut up to my brain can be useful. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Drugs help with it too. I'm not recommending anything. You need to go to see a doctor.
I'm not advocating for drugs, not illegal drugs.
Yeah.
Go and speak to your doctor. Yeah, I've found that for sure. Like sometimes it's not even that I dislike what I'm doing. It's my brain literally being like, nah, you don't want to do this anymore. I'm like, well, but I do. It's like, nah, you really don't. Oh, okay, great, thanks.
Yeah.
We have no
Yeah, but
control.
something.
Exactly.
What?
Oh, it's just Sinistral was saying we have no control over it, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, but I have really difficult times dealing with personal projects recently.
Mm,
I have a lot of ideas, but to sit my butt in the chair after working hours to draw, it's
yeah,
super difficult.
yeah. Hey, man, you know, there's one place where you can always come and do a personal project if you want. And that's on
Wait,
the live streams
here.
right here.
Yeah, that's a good part. That's a good point.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to hope your brain goes into aeroplane mode and lets you get into the flow state. Yeah, yeah. When I was at university, we learnt about the flow state in terms of like game design terms. We learnt about the flow state, um, where it's sort of about balancing the level of difficulty. Let me try and find it. Yeah, it's like finding the balance between anxiety and boredom, right? So you need to find something that's not too difficult, but still kind of tough for you to do. Like when you think of a game like Dark Souls or something, for example, those games tend to get you in that flow state because they're difficult, but you know that you can do it. So your brain is kind of like in that midpoint where you just kind of zone out and just do it.
Mm-hmm. You're talking about yourself. I'll never play that game.
Yeah. Here we go. So yeah, in games design, it's like a mix between frustration and boredom. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to find like a good
Yeah.
balance between the two. And I think it
Yeah, I
probably.
have that. Oh, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was going to say, I think a lot of it would transfer over to art as well. You know, if you're at a piece of your work and you're really struggling, then you kind of need to find that balance between frustration and boredom.
Yeah. Yeah, like I've been having that experience with my dog recently because she gets desperate when we leave the home.
Mhm.
We leave the house and she starts barking, and she's annoying on that aspect. She's super chill dog, but when we leave the house, she got desperate. Oh, I got abandoned. I
Oh
never
yeah,
got to see there again. And then we saw about a toy that you fill with food
yeah.
and then get her occupied for some time.
Mm.
And you can add a level of difficulty levels on the
Yeah.
toy. But I realized I was giving her the most difficult one. And then she gave up and started barking.
Yeah.
Yes. And I needed uh, to level it down.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah. Our dog. We used to have a similar toy for our dog where when we would leave, we'd put treats in it, and essentially
Mhm.
it was four uh, uh, like four buckets that you would put food in, and then on the top it had this spinning thing that would close them. So what she'd need to do is she'd need to
Mhm.
spin this thing on the top to then open these buckets full of food. And
Oh, that's interesting.
she eventually just learned that if you flipped it upside down, then it would just it would open anyway, and the food would go everywhere. So after like 2 or 3 days of having this toy, she just learned to flip it as soon as we left the house. So she'd flip it and get all the food, and
Son
then
of a
that was it.
bitch.
She'd done. That's funny. We're like,
Uh,
man, you're a smart dog, but not like, come on. Hey Alan, nice to see you. Yeah, I've seen some dogs destroying those toys to get the food. Yeah, she would never destroy it, but she just learned other ways to get the food that weren't actually using the toy, which is funny. I really like those like comic book dots in the background. I only noticed them when you zoomed
oh,
in. They're cool. Have you been playing anything new recently, or are you still going through Prince of Persia then?
yeah, I still going on Prince of Persia. I just give it a break to watch the
For,
Fallout series,
yeah,
Fallout show, and I need to go back. Maybe I'll play this week. The
yeah,
problem is if you spend too much time, if you don't play for a long period, you get bad again
yeah,
and you start losing again.
yeah. That's where that's where I'm at currently because I put Prince of Persia down to go and play uh, a few other games, and then I came back to it and I was like, oh, I forgot all of the controls and my muscle memory is totally gone. So
Yeah,
I have to like relearn it, and I'm like halfway through the game already. So
yeah, that's boring.
yeah, it's tough, but uh, that's my biggest problem with games. Yeah, me too. I'll put them down and then forget about them and then go back to them and have no idea what's happening. The amount of games where I'll take a break and then go back and forgot all of the story, so then I'll just restart the game and I'll get to the same point every time. It's so stupid.
Yeah, usually I have a very good memory to remember the stories, but
Mm.
to remember the controls are terrible. Sometimes, and then I want to know what happened later,
Yeah,
and I don't know how to play the game
yeah,
anymore.
yeah. It's it's so frustrating. MMO issues too. Yeah, I mean, I don't play MMOs anymore, but I had that with Final Fantasy 14. I mean, I I can pick up the controls pretty quick with that, to be fair, but the story, man, they just introduce so many characters that if you take a break for a while, you're like, I have no idea who you're talking about.
But that's not an MMO, right?
Final Fantasy 14 is, yeah, yeah,
It's okay.
yeah, yeah. It's crazy, but I've I've been on like a bit of a I've been on a bit of a horror game stretch recently, so I'm I'm looking forward to playing more of those. Like I said on the stream yesterday that I've been playing a game called Still Wakes the Deep, and
Never heard. It's a horror one.
yeah, it's a horror game. It came out fairly
All right.
recently, but
Mm-hmm.
it's very uh, it's very cosmic horror. So kind of
Mm-hmm.
like kind of like well, what's
Love
this?
Lovecraft stuff.
Yeah, yeah, it's very like Lovecraftian. Yeah, so that was really cool. I had fun with that. I streamed it uh, to a friend of mine, oh, Katie, who works here at Moon Colony.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I played it and streamed it to her, so that was good fun. And I finished that yesterday. It's not very long. I think it only took me like 8 hours maybe in total, so I did it over 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, I think I never played a horror game.
Oh man, there's some really good ones. There's some really fun ones.
Uh, I'm afraid, man.
Me too normally. Me too normally. So one of my favorite games of last year is a horror game that I played like all on my own, which was Alan Wake 2, which I've discussed on the stream plenty of times
Oh, right.
before. I
Mm-hmm.
I love that game so much, and that's a horror game, but it's
Yeah.
like it does a really good balance of being scary to the point where you're like, I am kind of uncomfortable and really tense, but not
Uh-huh.
so scary that you're wanting to put the controller down and turn it off. It's like
All right.
uh, it's fun.
Yeah. I I all those more dark games, not even uh, not even horror ones,
Mm.
like Control, for example.
Oh yeah.
I played quite a lot, around 6, 7 hours.
Mm.
But the problem is like I get bored.
I got bored with Control. I really like Remedy games, but I think I got the same as you actually. I think I got about sort of 5 or 6 hours in or something, and then was just like, yeah, I'm bored of this now.
And this used to happen to me when I'm playing more dark games.
Mm,
I don't know, the vibes got kind of too, they take it too serious, you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's the thing. That's something that I liked with Alan Wake specifically, was that it is quite dark, but it also mixes in bits of humor. It's kind of like, do you know Twin Peaks?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Control has that vibe too.
yeah. Yeah, Control has it, but like Alan Wake, I think takes the Twin Peaks inspiration to the extreme, where
Mhm.
it's just, I don't know, it's just like a really perfect vibe for me, at least. Anyway, I love it a lot. Let's see what people in the comments are saying. My struggle is I either remember none or all of the names for characters in games, so I most likely won't know who the hell they're talking about. Yeah, same, honestly. I tend to come up with my own names for people in games, where I'll be like, oh yeah, it's Beardy Hat Man, stuff like that. So I'm like, who are they talking about? And then I'll be like, oh right, yeah, of course, Dave is Beardy Hat Man because he's beard and has a hat. Little Nightmares and Inscription are bangers. They are. Little Nightmares is amazing. One of my favorite games ever.
Yeah, I downloaded that. I want to play it.
Yeah, Little Nightmares
have
1
it.
and 2. Both of them are
Mhm.
masterpieces. So good. David's here. Oh, hi David, nice to see you. They said they love Control. Oh man, I think it's fun, but I just never get around to finishing it. And I've tried a lot, but maybe I just need to keep pushing through. I don't know.
And I played on my PS3, and I think it doesn't run so smoothly.
Yeah.
And another thing, there's a lot of stuff you found in the environment, like texts and papers and whatever.
Yeah.
And I think I wasn't aware I need to wear glasses at the time, and I was playing on TV, and there's no option to have a zoom on the text. It was super difficult to read that shit. And another thing that got me bored.
Yeah, that that will do it. If you if you can't see, then yeah. um, let's see. Oh, Crow Country. I really want to play. I really want to play Crow Country.
It is.
It's well, I'll read Leo's description. It's PS1 styled abandoned theme park kind of game where you have to explore and uncover a mystery while unlocking new areas and managing resources. So it's like a survival horror game, kind of like
Mhm.
kind of like mm, maybe like Silent Hill kind of thing, uh,
Mhm.
but with like PS1 graphics. It looks cool, and I've
Yeah,
heard
what
good
makes
things.
even more terrifying?
Yeah, yeah. The PS1 graphics makes it more even more
Yeah.
scary. Yeah. Uh, uh, Inscription. I liked Inscription, but I only ever played the first part of it because I got angry when it turned into like a JRPG kind of thing. Uh, I liked the first part, but as soon as they started asking me to do deck building, I went no thanks and stopped playing. uh, Control's an amazing game, no doubt, but same case here. Didn't play for more than 2 hours, but definitely want to play it someday for the Poets of the Fall / Old Gods of Adgar's music level. Yeah, yeah. That's the cool part. No, the deck building is the boring part. I hate deck building. I hate it. I think the cool part was like the horror escape room in the start. That was cool.
Yeah. I never played a lot. I never played a lot. I think I never played a game with too much a JRPG with turn-based battles.
Mm.
Like I think the only one uh, I played a lot was Pokemon.
Yeah.
The rest of it I passed. But I'm curious about that Sea of Stars.
Oh, Sea of Stars is good. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that it's pretty nice.
Yeah, Sea of Stars is really fun. I like that a lot. That's another game though that I haven't finished. So, uh, uh, what scares you the most? Uh, for me, what scares me the most in well, I was going to say in games, but I also just in general is like underwater stuff. I really do not like underwater things. It's not fun for me. There was there was a part in Still Wakes the Deep where you have to go underwater for a bit, and I really don't want to do this. Like the rest of the game, I was fine. You know, I was like joking with it and being like, this is kind of, it's not very scary. But then as soon as they got water involved, I was like, nah, I'm good, thanks. I really don't want to do this. But
But in real life, are you afraid of water too?
uh, yeah. So like swimming pools and stuff are fine, but like the ocean, I'm never going in the ocean ever. uh, I will go on a beach, but I will not go in the ocean. I do not like
All
it at
right.
all. Yeah. Uh, Thalassophobia. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like thalassophobia, but that's more specifically about like deep water, right? Whereas
Oh,
mine is
you guys are inventing words.
yeah, yeah, it's a fake word. Uh, but yeah, it I think it comes from I think it stems from the fact that I nearly drowned as a kid. So now my brain is like, oh, like water? Mm-mm, bad. uh, not scared of the ocean, but it's kind of sketchy when you don't see the bottom. Oh yeah, yeah, that's like the whole thing. You don't know what's down there. You know, all you know about the ocean is that the deeper you go, the more messed up things become. Okay, like you see those deep water creatures, and those things are all kinds of messed up. Like you don't know what's down there. Also, yeah, what if there's sharks? And people will try and tell you, no, sharks are really nice. Sharks won't, like, they'll only ever bite you on accident. Like, yeah, that's great, but they're still going to bite you, aren't they? So, sharks don't have a conscience. They're not going to apologize. And, like,
The same for lions and tigers,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, sharks will only bite you because they think you're a seal. It's like, yeah, well, I'm not, and I still don't want them biting me, whether it's an accident or not.
Yeah,
It's still
yeah.
gonna hurt.
I hope I would like they to be sure that I'm not a seal, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Uh, my family went to 2 beaches in Hawaii, and at both, somebody got bitten by a shark, and another person died from a shark bite while we were there. Exactly. See, and you know what? I bet the shark didn't send an apology letter, did he? He just went off somewhere. He just carried on living his life as if nothing ever happened.
The shark syndicate send you a letter.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. You can't bring a shark to court. You can't sue a shark. So that and many other reasons are why I'm not swimming in the ocean. And the thing is, like the UK doesn't. Well, I don't know. It's very rare that you see a shark around the UK, but it happens, and that's enough for me. The fact that it's a possibility is enough.
yeah, in Brazil, I think it has in some states.
Yeah. I mean, Brazil has such a huge coastline. It has to have, but like, it's bound to. There's
Yeah.
bound to be sharks somewhere along there. Uh, would I ever? Would I ever live in Australia? Absolutely not. I like my life. I'd live in New Zealand. I would live in New Zealand, but I wouldn't live in Australia.
Oh, but have you lived in New Zealand?
No, I haven't. But
Oh,
I
okay.
but I know that New Zealand has like they have like no animals that want to kill you, so that's fun.
All right.
Yeah. And I think they don't have any invasive species. So like you don't have any uh you don't have any like rats or anything like that. And if they do have them, they have like a whole nationwide uh system in place to get rid of them because they're like, no, they'll screw up our whole ecosystem. It's crazy. Like if you want to do a deep dive on like the New Zealand ecosystem, it's quite interesting.
Yeah, I would love to visit someday,
Yeah,
but it's too expensive. It's in the other side of the world.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I wonder. It's probably closer for you to go to Australia than it is to me. It's literally the other side of the world from me. So
I don't know. I don't know. I think a plane for Australia from Brazil, it's around 24 hours of flight.
oh, so it's probably not. Yeah,
Because
we have.
probably a flight. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say like from London to Sydney, it takes about 23 hours for us.
Because from Brazil, I know that probably there's no straight flights,
Yeah, that's
and
not true.
I think usually they have a connection in,
Mm,
I don't know, Dubai or somewhere in Asia.
What? That's such a weird way to go. Huh? That's wild.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't cross the Pacific. We go through the Atlantic.
You go the long way around.
Yeah, probably.
That's wild. That's crazy to me. Unless my geography is totally wrong, that just seems like a really strange way to go. I'm looking on Google Maps right now. Oh, yeah, you know what? There's probably not a lot in it. It's probably not much difference. Let's see. The Pacific Ocean is really bad to fly over, so those long flights from Brazil usually have weird stops. Okay. I guess it's a long journey without any stops as well. Like, because there's not
Yeah.
really much between South America and like Australia and New Zealand. So
Got lost on my layers.
oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, it's all right. I should start collapsing it.
How many layers have you got currently?
I have no idea. I don't know. A lot.
A lot, yeah.
I like layers.
Yeah.
I don't know how Leone managed to work with a few ones.
Oh,
It makes his life easy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Take a shot for each layer you create.
I will die in one file.
Yeah. So we've been over what scares me, but what scares you, Gabriel?
I think losing my mind, like
Yeah,
being what's the name of that disease that's super sad?
Oh, like
Alzheimer.
Alzheimer's? Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's some things that creeps me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to die soon also. Yeah, I think that's a good one too.
Death and Alzheimer's are both very valid fears, I think. Yeah, it's crazy. What is that? Sorry, Leo just put something in the chat and I don't know what it is. I'm gonna Google it.
Why? I didn't get it. Oh, okay. To get crazy like the Joker.
Oh, it's like the Joker from Batman. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm afraid of it. Oh, another thing. I want to be a conservative old dude. Yeah, because I have a dad, and I think it sucks when we try to explain something new or a new tendency to my dad, and and shows that he has some wall in his brain
Yeah.
that he can't comprehend that idea,
Yeah.
I really want to be that kind of old tattooed dude that it's all right with everything.
Yeah, me too. I really wanna be the old guy that's just like, oh, this thing is happening? Cool. You know what?
Yeah.
You go do that. You have fun.
Mm-hmm. Let's learn more about this.
Yeah. Hey Daniela, nice to see you. Daniela Ivanova has said, almost missed this beautiful piece. It's coming along awesome. How the heck do you combine 3 saturated colors and not make it look like an eyesore?
Like what?
like an eyesore.
Ice. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I have a lot of headache playing this one, and I still not that sure if it's working. But
I think
uh,
it's
uh,
working pretty well.
yeah, I
I would
choose to
love to
have
have this on a
fun.
poster.
Yeah,
Uh, there's a term for the wall in your brain. It's called a suggestive barrier. That's
suggestive. Yeah,
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't want to have one of those when I get old. I want to just be
yeah, me too.
I want to be carefree and just let people do what they want.
Yeah, exactly. And being able to learn until a
Yeah,
old age, you know,
yeah,
that's something I would. I don't want to be my dad. I love him, but I don't want to be him.
yeah.
That's the.
We all have those. It's part of being human. Uh,
Yeah.
if I deny that, does that then mean that I do have one because I'm denying what you are suggesting to me, therefore proving I have a suggestive barrier? So
Yeah,
we're in
maybe.
like a catch-22 where no matter what I do, I'm proving to you that I do have one. The only way out is for me to say no comment. But yeah, no, I do believe you. I I definitely have one. Um,
Yeah, I think everyone has it.
yeah,
If we start talking about our prejudice,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, everyone has some.
yeah, yeah. Uh,
I don't want to offend anyone, so I'll be quiet.
yeah, yeah. um, Let me see. They're saying it looks really cool. You can almost feel the movement of the character. Yeah, totally, totally. Uh, the wall of my brain is just called Bob. That's nice. That's nice. Uh, does Gabriel work at Moon Colony now? He does. He does. We love having Gabriel here. Red Heart says GG for this original drawing. Is it a Kara design? No, this is 100% original.
And not. It's a kind of fun art.
Yeah, it's got kind of fan art. I say 100% original in that it's 100% drawn by hand.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. Um, there's a whole psychological science about it and ways to overcome those barriers in ourselves and others. I'm not trying to catch 22 you. Sure. Yeah, no. I get it. That's the thing. I think I've like I'm always trying to overcome those barriers in my head, mostly because I like to try and understand where other people come from and how other people think. But yeah, it is really difficult. Like when people start to
Yeah,
write
like.
AI art, my barrier goes way up to the sky. Yeah, same.
Yeah, I really love music. I love to discover new genres, and
Mm.
I think that's like a hobby to me. I have a friend that he mentioned that he is listening to this. He's watching the the stuff we are doing here.
Yeah.
And we are always sharing songs between each other.
Hmm.
And but I was raised like a rocker. Like my
Yeah.
dad loves old school rock and roll, and
Yeah.
those are the worst. I'm not saying about the songs. There's a lot of great songs, but the people who got attached on, oh, I can only listen to rock and roll.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, why do you listen to that? Oh, Dua Lipa, that's horrible. Oh, Beyonce, oh, that bitch. You know?
Yeah, it's tough, right? Um,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Daniela's like, oh gosh, my uncle is like that. Yeah. only old school rock is only old school rock music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Uh. Oh, I mean, it's up to you if you want to answer this question, by the way. But Ollie asked, "Can I ask why Gabriel left Envar? Did you just fancy a change?" But it's up to you if you don't want to answer it.
Yeah, basically that. I was there for the past 2 years and a half, I think.
Hmm.
And I think it was time
Yeah.
to. It wasn't there. It wasn't him. It was me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's not you, it's me.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's funny. Leo said, Jaden, what are your biggest prejudices? Rank them. I'm not going to do that, but people people who like Sonic, yeah, they're up there. Yeah, I hate people who like Sonic. That's not true. I don't hate people who like Sonic. I just hate Sonic I just hate Sonic. That's
What?
the
Why
answer.
do you hate Sonic?
I just hate him. Everything about him I think is terrible.
Why?
Uh,
Such a
I feel
iconic
like
character.
his I don't like any of the Sonic games. I don't like the personality. The character design is fine, but just kind of boring. Even his human teeth. Yeah, I even hate his human teeth. They're gross and weird. Sonic the character or everyone in his universe? Mostly just Sonic. Because how could you hate Big the cat? Big the cat is iconic. But mostly it's just
Don't know
Sonic.
what is this.
Sonic is he's too obnoxious. Doctor Eggman has body goals. He totally does. I'll just go back to this comment because it's really nice actually. Uchi Zombie says, I really love the atmosphere of open-mindedness at Moon Colony. I was getting really depressed about not having places to fit in as an artist, and it's been really inspiring to find your studio. Thank you so much. We do try our best. Personal vendetta against the Mickey Mouse Hedgehog. The Mickey Mouse Hedgehog. What? I just think that Sonic is awful.
Yeah, I cannot say that because my first video game was a Mega Drive, and I played a lot of Sonic.
Yeah. Well, okay, I have a gripe with the Sonic games as well, because especially like the first one, because they obviously the whole thing of Sonic is that you got to go fast, right? You want to go as fast as possible, but the level design actively discourages you from going quickly, and that upsets me because you'll be
Yeah, that's
running
interesting.
along, and then an enemy will appear out of nowhere, and because you're going fast, you are going to hit it, and then you're going to lose a bunch of rings, and that slows you down instantly. Or you're running along, and there's spikes in the wall, and then you hit that, and then you lose a bunch of rings instantly. Or you hit a bounce pad that bounces you backwards into some spikes that you're going to miss because you're running too fast. I'm not going to. I don't know. I could go on about Sonic for a long time, and people.
Yeah. One thing, there's a recent Sonic game that was super weird. It's like an open world one.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
There's a realistic environment with Sonic.
Yeah, I have
Like,
I have problems with that game as well. Because that game is dumb.
and yeah, and also I think now you're mentioning, I think the Sonic franchise taking him too serious.
Yeah.
Like they think they are super cool, but he's kind of Sega Mario, right?
Yeah,
And that's it. Mario is not a serious character.
yeah. Also, with that newest Sonic game, this will be my last comment about Sonic, I swear. But the thing, like, it's just super boring to look at. It's like a big open field with a bunch of random bits of terrain, like random bits of like ramps and terrain and rails and stuff, just floating in midair for no reason whatsoever.
That new game, right?
Yeah, the new one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called now, but yeah.
No, there's an art problem there.
Yeah.
Sonic super stylized and the world is realistic.
Yeah.
Like we are playing in the Sonic movie.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Like if you see the Super Mario Galaxy or what's the
Odyssey,
most recent
Odyssey.
one? Odyssey, exactly.
Yeah.
Everything works together regarding art.
And I think
what's the problem of Sonic to being a game like that, right?
I think with Odyssey as well is that you had the level in like, well, it wasn't New York, but it was New York. It was New York. And that kind of worked because you're traveling between worlds, and I feel like that stylistic change worked for one level. I think that was cool. But yeah, Sonic.
Yeah, but Super Mario Odyssey also there's only one. There's New York in just one. Phase scenario. I don't know.
Yeah. It's just man, it's wild. I'll take a look at some of the comments people are saying. Daniela says that they feel the same way about Moon Colony as Uchi Zombie did. That's so nice. Thank you so much. They said the community is awesome, even if my style is far away from the Moon Colony look. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. You can come and hang out anyway. We love to see you. Also, Jaden's beard is sort of okay. All right. Sort of okay. Okay, I'll take it as a compliment, but it didn't feel like one. Sort of okay is the highest compliment I can possibly give a beard. All right. Okay, sure. All right. I think it looks better. I think it looks better short than it did when it was long, to be honest. But I'll let you decide. This Moon Colony stream discussing the mistake that is Sonic. Yeah.
Yeah, we can start saying that this is a fun art of Sonic mixed with Prince of Persia.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's blue, right? And he looks fast.
Yeah, he looks fast as hell, man.
Yeah.
Super Mario Galaxy and Odyssey are beautiful games. Oh yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
When I played on PlayStation 2, I wasn't playing Sonic. Shadow the Hedgehog for the PlayStation 2. That game was wild. I think
there's a game. There's a game of Shadow, right?
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
It's so bad, but I love it. It's so funny because Shadow, like, he doesn't swear, but he kind of does at the same time. You know, like he'll fall off the stage and you'll just hear him go, "Damn," and it's so funny. I love it. And he has a gun. Exactly. Shadow has a gun, and it's hilarious. I love Big the Cat and Shadow the Hedgehog are the two best characters in.
I don't know who Big the Cat is.
You don't know who? Oh man, Big the Cat is great. Big the Cat is from I think he's from Sonic Adventure, and let me double check. Well, someone in chat will probably tell me, but I think he's from Sonic Adventure. But all of his levels are about him going fishing to look for a frog. And his like whole thing is he's going around the level and he's just going like, froggy, froggy, and that's his whole thing. And it's so stupid.
I think I'm getting nervous because I will collapse stuff.
You're gonna collapse
For
my
me,
ears.
for me, it's always a
Yeah.
difficult moment. So,
Do you do you want
all
some
right,
do you want some emotional support?
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, it's done.
You got this, man. You can do it.
Uh, Apply layer mask. Oh God.
Uh, Jaden's beard is not offensive. Thank you so. You guys are just like. You guys are really having it out. Normally, you guys compliment my beard, and now you're giving me the most backhanded compliments I've ever had. What have I done? Is this because I don't like Sonic? Uh, have
Yeah, I'm
courage.
thinking here of something everyone likes, but I don't. Uh, there's a few things I just forgot everything. Oh, the From Software games, I think it's great.
Oh, what like
Uh,
the Dark Souls games?
yeah, I don't get it. And
That is a good
Final
one.
Fantasy is another thing I don't get it.
I can see why you wouldn't like them. Uh, from software games, I totally get because if you don't like one, then you're not gonna like any of them because they're all the same. Uh,
Yeah, and also like I keep hearing from everyone, oh, that's a nice, oh, there's the marvelous game and whatever. And I always do some research. Well, what would be a good one for beginners?
hmm,
And
there
there's
isn't
no
one.
one for beginners.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. The thing is that they're all difficult. So there isn't one for beginners. You just kind of pick one and then go, yeah, sure,
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
cry while playing this one.
Yeah.
Uh, Leo says
But
from
Final Fantasy is another one.
Final Fantasy, I think is an interesting one because like I don't know. Final Fantasy is interesting because the story for each one is so different. Like the gameplay is very similar because obviously it's a turn-based JRPG for the most part, but the stories are also different and really interesting, and the characters are all really different. And they touch on uh, they touch on a lot of different topics.
Uh,
Um,
it is that interesting. I always think that is like a Mexican soap opera fantasy game.
some of them are, some of them are, but like some of them get really dark. Like Final Fantasy VI, I think, is a good one where it's a really dark game that touches on a lot of quite deep topics. And if I'm remembering okay, like if I'm remembering it well, then it does it does quite well in commenting on those and kind of talking about how important they are. But at the same time,
Mhm.
the villain is like this evil clown man. So you know, it's kind of a weird it's kind of a weird juxtaposition. But man, they really make you hate that clown man. uh, let's see. Leo says, I really like the From Software art and lore, but I really dislike the fan base, especially when they say that exclusive stuff. Like some people can't afford 50 hours on a boss. Yeah, yeah. I'm I'm of the opinion that having difficulty options in a Dark Souls game is totally okay, and I don't see why not. Um,
Yeah, like for example, I'm super curious to play that Black Myth Wukong.
yeah, Yeah.
But I've heard that's like a Souls-like stuff, and
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah. Yeah. I had this conversation on Discord actually in the Moon Colony Discord. I was like I was talking to some people and I was like, I'm just kind of tired of Souls-like games now. I just want like a classic action adventure game, you know, where
Yeah,
I don't have to be like sweaty and get frustrated and like die constantly, you know. Um,
exactly.
but yeah,
I
uh,
can I have a chill afternoon playing games?
yeah,
It's like,
yeah, yeah.
what's the problem about it?
I've just finished my 8 hour day at work. Now I'm gonna play Dark Souls and work again for another 6
Yeah,
hours.
exactly.
Yeah. um, uh, Daniela
And I
said,
think,
oh, sorry,
oh,
you
go
go.
ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
no, you
No,
go.
go ahead.
This is a topic change, so you finish up your thought.
All right. Oh, I'm saying about a bunch of games. Like, there's a lot of games that looks interesting that I've heard that has a good story,
Mm.
but it took 100 hours to finish. So I don't need that level of commitment, you know.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. I played Stellar Blade like like a month ago or something, maybe even longer than that. And I really enjoyed Stellar Blade, but that had like Souls-like mechanics, and while it wasn't too difficult, I was still kind of just like this could have been more like I don't know, this could have played more like Near Automata or something like that where
Mhm,
it just it just played around with the mechanics a bit more. But
mhm.
I still had a good time with it because like it wasn't throw my controller at the TV difficult. It was just and it had difficulty options as well.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, Daniela says I support difficulty options. I'm a baby noob and I feel discriminated. Yeah. Yeah. The,
Yeah,
the,
the
the thing
same.
is that if if you play a Dark Souls game and you want the classic experience and you want it to be really difficult, then you would pick that difficulty. Like no one is forcing you. Like if you add a difficulty option, no one is forcing you to choose that difficulty. You know, it's such a it, it's like a
Yeah,
non-argument.
and probably they will be making a lot more money
Yeah,
if it
yeah,
would be
exactly.
it had difficult options.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, but anyway,
Uh,
Daniela,
yeah, and now you're gonna say that, oh, but they are not sacrificing their art.
yeah,
Who's gonna believe that?
yeah, that's a lot of what the argument is. A lot of the argument is but it's the creative vision. It's like okay, maybe that vision needs to change.
Yeah.
I don't know. Um, but Daniela actually had a question saying, do you guys uh, did you guys switch away from Photoshop or are you planning to? I don't think that there's currently any plans to switch away from Photoshop. I know a lot of stuff has been going on with Adobe recently, but uh, currently it's still the industry standard, so we will be continuing to use it uh, when you know when we need to. But there are some artists at Moon Colony that use like Clip Studio, so it depends really on artists' preference and also what projects they're working on. So
Yeah. I think I'm not giving up Photoshop because I'm too lazy for that.
yeah,
And I have no hopes for the world, so still whatever.
yeah, yeah,
Like, what can I do?
yeah.
I can complain. I don't know. But
Hmm.
it's difficult. I think it's a very difficult topic, and I
Yeah,
honestly don't know what to do.
yeah.
Even the Kara app, I made my account after 3 weeks from the hype,
Mm,
Because I'm already tired of social networks.
Yeah.
And like for example, I don't have Instagram on my phone.
Yeah.
I keep it to see on my computer.
Hmm.
And I hate being doom scrolling, you know?
Yeah.
I think I always feel shitty when I do that. So
Mm.
another social network, okay, they don't steal our work, but
Yeah.
another one.
I yeah, I barely use my personal social medias anymore. Uh, so it's very interesting. I literally woke up one morning and just like it was like someone flicked a switch. I woke up one morning and went, I don't want to look at this stuff anymore, and then that was it. So
Yeah.
yeah. So now really the only one that I look at is Instagram, and that's about it because I don't know my the people that I follow on Instagram are just they don't talk about anything depressing. It's just nice photos. So I'm like, cool, here's this one.
Yeah.
Um, uh, let's see. Tyrrell says, I have a theory. I found out that a lot of artists love Souls likes, at least who I know in person. And I think that's because because artists know how to suffer. Maybe. Yeah. But yeah, also hello. Nice to see you. They said amazing work, Gabriel.
Thank you.
It's kind of weird, man. We're already nearly an hour and a half into this. That has gone really fast, at least for me.
Yeah, me too. And I sometimes I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just going with the flow.
Yeah, I think that's nice. I like that. I like that some of our streams kind of just turn into more of a. Well, that's what these streams tend to be. You know, they're like a chilled out, have a chat, and uh, and see some cool artwork, and I like that. Um, Daniela says, "I'm bummed that I missed the initial construction. That would have been interesting to see." Oh, well, the initial construction of this this piece, because you can. That's on our YouTube. You can find it if you want to rewatch it.
Oh, it's already there? I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah. Our last one was on YouTube because we stream on there. It automatically uploads. Uh, so let me grab that. Uh, Gabriel did a little bit of work between that stream and this one, just kind of tidying some things up and making it a bit neater. Um, but yeah, there you go. There's a link. So if you subscribe to our YouTube, then it'll always be easy to find on there, and it'll show up in your subscriptions list. So uh, Leo says, yeah, these streams are to have a chat, share some controversial opinions, and judge Jaden's hot takes. My our opinions are like not really controversial. They're like lukewarm. You know, it's like the lowest form of controversial it can be. Just like I don't like Sonic, and that's it. Although Melissa always says that I don't like anything, so you know,
Yeah, is that a cultural thing? A
I th-
cultural trait?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a big cultural thing about being British where you just hate everything.
Yeah, one of my former art directors, Will Geese, he's also British,
Yeah.
and it was super fun because everything you talk, oh, did you like that? Or how are you? Oh, not bad.
Yeah, the not bad is like classic. Yeah, yeah. It's so funny. Like I'm sure it's the same in a lot of other countries as well, but in the UK, a common greeting is just to be like, "Ah, how's it going?" Or like, "How you doing?" And if someone ever tells you they're honest, like how they are feeling honestly, you're just like, oh no, what have I done?
Yeah, and I didn't realize that. And sometimes I was talking with Will, and now how are you, man? Oh, not bad. Why? What's not bad? What's happening?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And y'all know that's only British.
yeah, yeah. I love it. I love it when I meet new people that haven't really um that haven't really spoken to like a British person or like an English person very much, and you end up having to have that conversation where they ask you how you're doing. You're like, yeah, I'm not bad, and they're like, oh, so you're not good? I'm like, well, no, I am good. Like, so what's bad? I'm like, well, nothing. I'm just, I'm fine. Like, it's like, I'm not bad, but I'm not good. I'm just in the middle. I'm doing okay.
And I always talk with Will that for him to stop looking at the art, because if he keep looking, he'll keep finding stuff to change. And I said, no, stop, stop.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah, yeah. It's so funny. Like you could be having like the worst day imaginable, and someone would be like, "How's it going, man?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, pretty good, thanks." um, yeah, exactly. Sonny Buns is like, "Oh no, I didn't mean to actually get deep like that. Please just say you're fine." I think as well. I think as well. Like it's very. I don't know when you're talking to an English person about something that makes you that is making you upset, or it's like, I don't know, my grandma died last week or something like that. We have absolutely no idea what to do with that information. We just kind of go, oh man, that sucks. And it's like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's yeah, the cultural differences are always really funny.
Yeah, in Sweden they have a lot of issues about talking personal stuff,
Yeah,
and it's super difficult to talk with them. And like in Brazil, if something happens with a colleague and he's not well, and instantly ask, "Oh, what happened?"
yeah,
And that's it.
yeah,
And we talk about it. And in Sweden, oh, it's private.
yeah,
Okay, he's not showing up for 2 weeks. What's happening?
yeah,
Oh, it's private.
yeah, yeah. We have a similar thing over here where it's like,
Mm.
yeah, it's like, oh, that person hasn't been to work in 2 weeks. What's going on? Ah, nothing. It's fine. You know, they're just not well. It's like,
Uh,
oh, okay,
we
cool.
Brazilians, we love gossip.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah. Well, that's the thing. I've mentioned this before, but it's like a lot of the gossiping and stuff in the UK, I think happens sort of behind closed doors. Where it's like, uh, you're kind of gossiping in private or and stuff like that. So it, it's funny.
yeah, I think my experience in UK, I feel that UK looks a lot. The whole country looks a lot like a countryside town.
Yeah,
Do you have a lot of those tabloids and stuff that knows that famous people that goes on that pub and happens to
yeah,
meet that person, and whatever
mm,
happens to the royal family, like I think
yeah,
it's super fun.
yeah.
I
The,
don't know if that's something you realize being
yeah,
British.
there's something really funny, and like I find it really cringeworthy that like a celebrity will come to my city and it'll be all over the newspapers. It'll be like for example, I think Hugh Jackman has a like family member that lives uh near near where I live. Like it's in like the same like
Uh-huh.
region, and so come over fairly often and visit, and he'll get seen in pubs. And every single time, no matter how many times he has been seen in a local pub, they will take a photo with him, and it'll be in the newspapers. It's so funny.
But that's kind of cute. That's nice.
Yeah, yeah,
I
it's
think that
wholesome,
there's a
but
lot of there's a lot of those cultural traits that I think it's interesting,
mm.
it's fun, but can become a problem.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah. It's like this dude just wants to visit his mum. This dude wants to visit his mum
Yeah,
and like, uh, and have a chill holiday, but he can't because they've just outed him. Like you've just,
yeah.
yeah, it's crazy.
Like
Um,
in Brazil, we are pretty informal. We love gossip, and we have a lot of difficulty of saying no or listening someone disagreeing with you.
yeah,
Like for Brazilians, it's pretty difficult for you to like. Oh, I don't like it. It's like it's not personal,
yeah,
but if you say something, oh, do you want to come over today and whatever? No, for Brazilians, it's like, what's
yeah,
happening? You
yeah,
don't like me anymore,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. We're like that too. There's a big thing in the UK where someone will invite you to something, and if you don't want to go, like everybody knows what this means. Everybody knows that this is a no, but you just go, oh yeah, I'll have to see. I'll see. Is
Yeah, we'll see.
mm,
That's even something from São Paulo, my region.
mm,
The people from São Paulo has that thing that, oh, let's do something. When we mention let's do something, there's
mm.
not a date implied.
Yeah,
We just
yeah,
being nice. Probably that's never gonna
yeah,
happen.
yeah, yeah. It's so funny. It's like, someone will invite you to, I don't know, their like birthday party or something, and like you'll have an exact date and an exact time, and you'll just be like, "Oh yeah, I'll have to see. I'll have to see what I'm doing that day." It's like we both know that you're doing nothing that day, but you're not gonna come. Awesome, cool.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Um, let's see. Sunny Bun says, when I was younger, my friends and I had this habit of just saying "rip" to bad news, and I'm not from an English-speaking country. Yeah, that I still do that sometimes, just out of habit. Someone will tell me something, and I'll be like, "Ah, rip," and they're like, "Oh wait, no. Oh no, I'm so sorry."
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine, this one, he's listening to the stream. He
Mm,
met he lives in the other side of the city, and São Paulo is a really big city. It's like 1 hour by public transportation.
mm,
He went to a winter party that was happening really beside my house, but was, I don't know, late Sunday. We just have a lunch with some friends, and the Saturday we have some uh, my father-in-law birthday. So a lot of stuff happened in the weekend, and me and my wife was just, oh no, they come over right beside of us. How can we said we don't want to go because we are tired?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
So, Thiago, if you're listening, it wasn't personal. I'm sorry again.
It wasn't personal. I'm sorry, but I will do it again. Man, it's funny. Uh, Daniela said universal hate is a very Balkan trait too. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why in the UK. I don't know why in the UK we've just been like conditioned to hate everything, but we just can't have nice things. You know, it's like someone's like, "Oh, I really love this thing." I'm like, "Oh, that's really
Whatever.
interesting." Yeah. I'm like, are you sure? Um, but Daniela also asked, I'm also curious how Gabriel transferred from Envar to Moon Colony. Was there an application process or dot 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 question mark?
Oh, I talked with Emma.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I already worked with Moon Colony 3 years ago, and it went well.
yeah,
And that's it.
yeah,
Yeah, I, I already know the studio. Already know Emma.
mm,
Emma, it was a nice experience.
yeah. Yeah, and then Gabriel met me and was like, "Wow, this place is amazing," and decided to stay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Let's see. Let's do something is just a nicer goodbye because we'll never meet again. Yeah, yeah. So I had a friend who I had a friend who moved abroad for a few years, and our like last message was like, "Ah, I'll come over and visit you at some point. It'll be fun." And I never went, and I never spoke to them again. It's like classic.
Yeah.
Um, it's not that I don't like them. It's just that I it's just you never get around to doing it.
And the older you get, the more stubborn you got,
Yeah,
and the more
yeah,
like nitpicky. Like,
yeah, yeah.
oh, I don't talk with that person for the last 3 years. Do I need to
Do I need to
talk
ever
with him
again?
again?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like that old stuff you keep in your closet, in your
yeah,
wardrobe, and oh, do I ever going to use that again? So probably I can throw in the trash or donate for someone.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're just donating your friends to other people.
yeah, yeah. I'm not using it anymore.
Yeah.
So if someone wants,
Why does that? It reminds me of that scene from Toy Story 2, where, um, in Toy Story 2, where they're holding like the I can't remember what his name is now. Andy is holding Jesse. Oh no, holding
uh,
Woody. He's holding Woody, and he's like, "I don't want to play with you anymore," and it just drops him and he like slow mo falls through like the darkness. But yeah, it's funny. There's there's some there's some really I love the like cultural differences between countries.
uh,
I think they're all so interesting and really fun to learn about. And like the I know the one that uh, quite a few people get that quite a few people find really funny when they come to the UK is that like we will apologize to people in the street even if we've just walked past them. It's like like you didn't bump into them or anything, but you like walked past them a bit too close, and you're like, "Oops, sorry." And like, you,
yeah. One thing I thought it was super nice in UK, in London specifically, is that how people in pubs like to throw conversation with everyone.
yeah, yeah,
It's so nice. It's so
yeah.
super fun.
It's the
Like there always are old two that you go to grab a beer and how are you? Where are you
yeah,
from?
yeah. It's always
Yeah.
it's always an old dude as well. But the my favorite thing about that is that it is only acceptable to do in pubs. Like if in any other situation, that is super weird, and people will think you're really weird for doing that. But in a pub, it's totally fine.
Yeah, my wife even have a photograph of her with an old uncle that came.
Yeah, it's just
That's
like
nice.
yeah, it's crazy. I remember I went to visit a I went to visit a friend, and uh and we went to a pub, and this old guy just turned around and started talking to me, and I'd never met this guy before in my life, and he was just like, oh, so how old are you then? Are you all right? What are you here for? Like, blah blah blah, just chatting, and I was like, I I don't have a clue who you are, man.
Yeah, this is more like a Brazilian way. Like in Sweden, the people there they are super polite. They are super smooth with everyone, but they are avoid contact at any cost.
Yeah.
So probably if you throw some conversation with someone in the street, they'll jump in a bush and hide from you. You know.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like it's like the stereotype of British people being quite polite, and it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, like we are polite, but you know, kind of only to your face, where it's like it's like we'll be polite. You could be the most annoying person in the world, and we'll still try our best to be polite with you. And then as soon as you're gone, we'll be like, that guy was the worst.
Yeah, one thing I like British is the self-depreciating humor. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
I really identify with it.
yeah, yeah. I don't think anyone hates the British more than we hate ourselves. Yeah, it's funny. I do like our humor because it kind of ranges from really absurd to like kind of just really uh I don't know how to describe, like really dry is what they call it, a dry humor where
Uh-huh.
it's you can't tell if someone's joking or not. It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, Brazilians are very overreactive kind of
Mm,
people. Uh, we are very warm. I think it's nice. We make jokes of everything. I think
yeah,
nothing is sacred for Brazilians. We
yeah.
can, yeah, that can become a problem sometimes. Uh, and we have different cultures inside
Mm,
the country also,
yeah, of
right?
course, yeah.
Sometimes when one time when I was working on Nemvar, Ate and Will, that are director, they came to visit in São Paulo, and he brought some people from around the country here too. And there's a guy from Recife, that is in the northeast from Brazil,
Right.
and he was a big dude, like very big dude, like almost 2 meters tall.
Wow.
Yeah, and Ate is a short guy,
Mm,
and people from Northeast are even more warm,
yeah.
like they are even more open.
Mm.
And when he met the boss, he pointed to him. Oh, he's so cute. He's so small. And then he rubbed him, and he was like going with Ate's head over his chest. You know. That was amazing.
Yeah, it's funny. I I always in the UK, I I always have to ask people. I'm like, "Oh, are you a hugger? Are you not a hugger?" Like, because it's very hit and miss. Some people in the UK love a hug, and others really find it quite uncomfortable. Um, so I always end up having to ask. Um, yeah, that's another like weird cultural thing where
Yeah.
I'm like, do I hug you? Do I not hug you? Because I love a hug, but it's just really funny.
So be careful with Brazilians. Oh,
Oh
what's happening?
yeah. Oh no. You should be back in a second, but let's see. This does happen sometimes. There we go.
Mhm.
You're back.
Okay.
Uh, uh, show on stream, and then this one goes there. There we go. Let's see. Leo says, once I was talking to a person from the Northeast, and I was confused if he was mocking me, but he was just being extremely nice. Yeah. I've had that before where I've been like I've been trying to be nice to somebody and they've been like, are you taking the piss out of me? Are you mocking me? And I'm like, no, I'm genuinely trying to be nice. I've also had it before. It's happened a few days ago actually. I tried to say something nice to my friend, but because the way that I talk a lot of the time is quite monotone,
Hmm.
a lot of what I say can sound really sarcastic. So
Hmm.
I can't remember what it was now, but something happened, and I said to one of my friends, I was like, "Oh man, that's great." I was like, "That's really cool, awesome," and they were like, "Wow, you don't have to be sarcastic." I'm like, no, I wasn't. I swear. I was like, "That's legitimately me trying to be nice." It doesn't help that
Yeah,
we love sarcasm
man,
in the
I'm a
UK.
very ironic and sarcastic guy too,
Yeah,
and it's terrible when people don't realize you're making fun and the
yeah,
people doesn't laugh and you're God, okay, I should stop.
yeah, yeah. I think that doesn't happen super often in the UK because we like as a country, I think we are always being sarcastic, just constantly. Um, so you a lot of the time you kind of learn to pick up on it. Like you can tell when someone's being sarcastic. Um, but yeah, I've had it a few times when when I first started speaking to people outside of the UK, sort of in my like mid teens, I was like being sarcastic and they just weren't getting it, and I was like, oh, I feel terrible. So I feel so bad. Um, uh, yeah, Leo says I love deadpan humor, but people never get it because of my delivery. Yeah, it can be tough. It can be tough, especially if it's like a cultural thing. Like if your culture isn't um like
That's funny.
yeah, well, if your culture isn't focused around that kind of humor, it can be really tough. Um, oh, Simbazite says I actually had a conversation about the UK during lunch break at the lab about how the UK is the place where speech recognition software goes to die. Why? There's some accents, right? Okay. Yeah, but like loads of countries have such varied accents, right? I know. I mean, the UK does have a lot because we've got, you know, 4 countries worth of accents, but yeah, England especially has a lot of interesting accents that some
Like
are.
Geordies.
Oh yeah, the Geordie accent is really interesting.
It's almost Greek.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, I also think there's generational element there as well. Some older people don't get absurdism, so they just look at you like you're crazy. Yeah, in the UK, we had a uh, we had a TV show in like the early 2000s called the Mighty Boosh, and uh, a lot of my generation really like the Mighty Boosh. I think it's amazing, but a lot of the older generations just don't get it at all. It's like they don't find it funny whatsoever. But it's so funny just because of how unfunny it is. Like because it's just absurd. It's just nonsense. Um,
Yeah, in Brazil we have one that some people doesn't get it. It's a
mm,
pretty famous right now, but it's like it's impossible for foreigners to understand that. It's called if we translate it's culture shock.
yeah, culture shock. Yeah,
Is yeah, it's about like imagine a couple of very rude dudes
mm,
like um, people who like blue collar. I mean,
yeah, blue collar.
like
Yeah,
but very ignorant ones
Yeah.
that he keep but they are evaluating movies and making movie critics movie reviews.
Yeah.
Imagine you put someone that doesn't get it, anything, and like he starts analyzing the cinematography of Stanley Kubrick, and I don't get it. That's this film is boring. Yeah, that's it's super fun. It's super fun. Like the favorite movies of the characters are like Transformers because they're cars and
Yeah.
there are punches and fights.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I like this movie because I like cars. It's like awesome.
Yeah,
Leo is like culture shock is so funny. It's genius.
yeah.
So it makes no sense to me how Greater London has like 10 different accents that all sound different from each other. Yeah. I mean the that's the thing that's really cool about London is that it's so many cultures coming together, so you get so many different accents. Let's see. Simblette says the issue is that the leader in speech recognition and synthesis software is in the UK, while Americans do have regional accents. They're nowhere near as pronounced as, say, Welsh. Yeah, that's true. Or like if you go right to northern Scotland, man, that can be tough to understand. My BA thesis was about the death and transformation of the Cockney accent and how it was merged with the Caribbean slang, plus the internet in the Greater London area. Yeah, the Cockney accent was great. I love it so much. It's amazing. Andrei Tarkovsky, in his commentary on Solaris, said that he deliberately made the first half of the film slower so that all the illiterates would leave the theater. Man, what the hell?
Oh, all right.
Man. If you guys if people in the chat are like interested in some amazing like British culture and to hear some cool like Cockney sort of accents, I can definitely recommend watching this British sitcom called Only Fools and Horses. It's
I didn't know about that.
Oh, it's so good. It's from man, when did it run from actually? They constantly play it on TV still. Like it ended years ago. Here we go. So it started in 1981.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like classic British television to the point where, yeah, as I said,
Okay.
they still play the episodes now just on repeat.
Nice.
But that is some amazing British comedy and like a great insight into British culture in like the 80s. Can I write it down? Yeah, I'll put it in chat. It's
Does
called
it have some streaming?
in the UK, I think you can watch it on a lot of different
Okay.
things, but I'm sure you can find it online somewhere. But yeah, and it's like good. It's a good example of like classic British comedy as well. It's really good.
Have you watched the In-Betweeners?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
It's super funny.
the In-Betweeners for people my age, the In-Betweeners was like must-watch TV. Like that summed up the British school experience for people who are like who are around my age, and it's so funny.
It's super funny.
Yeah, that's yeah. If you want a good example of more modern British culture, then In-Betweeners is the one to watch. Um, let's see. For Sonny Buns says, for some reason, to me, I always think of the Essex accent as the reality TV. Yeah, because it is, and the Essex accent is, it's tough. Um, my Leo says my biggest contact with British humor is Taskmaster. I just watched the 16th season. I've been watching since the beginning. Yeah, Taskmaster is good. Uh, the New Zealand Taskmaster is also good. If you haven't seen that, I can recommend it.
I don't know that. It's a reality show.
Taskmaster is like a it's a game show kind of thing,
Mm.
um, where you would where they get a group of celebrities to perform different tasks, and it can be stuff like get I don't know, get an egg out of the fridge without touching the fridge or something like that, you know. And so
Uh-huh.
these comedians then have to find a way. They each have to find a way to do it. Um,
Mhm.
it's is pretty cool. It's pretty funny. Like it's good. It's become really popular around the world, especially the British one. Um, in the USSR, every English teacher would model her pronunciation and mannerisms after Thatcher. Oh, wow. When my mum arrived in the UK in the 90s, she had a culture shock when she ended up in Milton Keynes with their distinct accent. Man, that's funny. Oh, and the celebrities are comedians, so they banter in between the things, and that's really funny. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Uh, Taskmaster is so fun. Is it also the one that shows how the participants went about the tasks, etc.? Yeah, yeah. It shows you how they do it. Yeah. They have everything on YouTube. Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. Um, but oh man, we're actually over time. I've only just noticed. So we should probably start to wrap up.
All right. Probably I'll work a bit more on this later.
Yeah.
I need to learn to finish stuff faster, but
Hey
I
man.
still want to play around his face. But I think it's almost done.
Yeah, it's looking really good. So, I
Thank you.
mean, we spent a lot of time just chatting about random stuff. So it's been nice to do that. Um, it's been nice to do that and have you drawing in the background as well. So thank you so much. Uh,
Thank you for the chance.
nah, no
We need to
problem.
play the next one.
Yeah, we'll get another one booked in. Don't worry. But
Yes.
thank you so much, everybody in chat, for coming along. It's been great, as always. I hope you come along to our next stream next week. Let me just check the schedule and see what we've got next week. We have Alex Pashenko back with us next week, and Leone. So I think Leone's going to be he's going to be finishing off his Hades 2 fan art. So it was like a Hades and Breath of the Wild crossover, which was cool. And then Alex P is going to be here drawing some anthropomorphic characters, so like animal characters. So come along to those. That'll be Wednesday and Thursday. Thank you, Gabriel, again for coming along and drawing for us today. It's a pleasure as always. I love hanging
Thank you,
out.
Jaden. Thank you, guys.
But everybody, enjoy the rest of your week. If you'd like to hop into the Discord tomorrow and celebrate Friday, then come along. We might play some games if we have time. But until then, we'll see you next week. So, bye everybody.
Bye.